Hey everyone, it's Amy from Eat, Breathe, Move again, and today I wanted to show you how I make my poached eggs. I think poached eggs are a favorite among a lot of people, and they'll go out to restaurants and they'll get, eggs Benedict or hash with poached eggs over it, but they never make it at home because they think it's so hard. And I did too. I mean, I was like, I can't make poached eggs. I was making scrambled eggs and that was about it. So what I did was I went on YouTube and I looked up how to make poached eggs and watched a video that explained it, and it was awesome. And now I find poached eggs are actually super easy to make if you know the tricks. So trick number one is that you need the water at the exact right temperature, and that's really a lot easier than you'd think. You don't want it at a rolling boil, and you want it at a little bit more than a slight simmer. And all you have to do is look at the bubbles to figure out how that works. So I'm going to see if I can get my camera over here. And let's see, I don't know if you can see that. See these little bitty bubbles? I would say that's too little. So I'm actually going to turn it up just a notch, and we're going to let it heat up. So the way I started this, I actually started this several minutes ago, is I got it up to a boil just because it seems to take water forever to boil. So I turned it up high, got it to just before I could see that it was going to start boiling, and then I turned it down. So I'm working on a new stove here, and I'm still trying to figure out how it works and where I want everything, and I'm almost tempted to get a little marker and kind of put a notch near the burner knob as to where I need to put it for my perfect poached eggs once I get it set. So just watching it, it's getting there a little bit more. I'm going to turn it up just a little higher. So while we're waiting for that, I just wanted to talk to you about the other key components to making the poached eggs. So you start with your water, and then you add a little bit of vinegar. I add this apple cider vinegar because this is what I keep at the house. You could use champagne vinegar, white vinegar, just whatever you have on hand. I've heard different things about adding vinegar, and I've tried both ways. I've tried it without vinegar and with vinegar, and I have to say, the vinegar is necessary. The point of the vinegar is to help the whites kind of set up so you get that nice little kind of, disc of the poached egg instead of the whites just spread out. The other thing you need are your eggs. I haven't looked into see whether it's a good idea to have room temperature eggs or cold eggs. I just use them out of the refrigerator. I just want it to be easy. And then you need a little dish. I use this, oh hang on, my low battery thing came out. So I use a little ramekin to get the eggs in the water. And then you need a slotted spoon. This is key. And a timer. So I think my bubbles are where I want them. So I'm right at medium, and let me show you again. So yeah, I don't know if you can tell the difference. I can't see really what's going on here, but yeah, it's like at a little bit more than those little bubbles, and it's not a full-on rolling bubble. So then what I do is I take the egg and I just crack it in the little ramekin, and be careful because you don't want to break the yolk. And then, let's see again, this is kind of tricky with the two-handed thing. So then, let's see, can you see that? So then I dip the ramekin so the hot water comes into the dish, and then fold the white on top of each other. And that's what sets it up nicely. Sorry if I'm totally missing this, this is not easy. Okay, so then I do it for the one, and then I'm gonna do it for the other one. So, okay. Again, you just kind of dip the edge of the little dish in the hot water, let the hot water come in, and then dump the white on top of the egg. And I've found that that has been what has worked best for me. So then you gotta, the most important thing is set the timer. So right now I've been playing with 3 minutes, 30 seconds. And we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm very much in the trial and error stage with this new stove since I moved into the apartment. I'm still trying to figure out the oven, and it's been so frustrating. I feel like I burn stuff and undercook stuff, and so I'm just kind of, you know, the only way you can figure out how your stuff works is to use it. And, you know, I'm gonna eat the stuff. I don't care if it's a little burned. I tried to make roasted sunchokes the other day, and that's when I learned my oven runs 50 degrees hot. So, and I had bought the thermometer and tested it and thought it ran 25 degrees hot, but no, I definitely feel like it runs 50 degrees hot, and I actually wonder if there might be something wrong with the internal thermostat that doesn't like drop it back down. But, you know, trial and error, I'll keep it going. So what I wanted to talk about is, with cooking, is how everyone thinks it's so hard. And it's actually, once you start doing it, it's not that hard. It's about finding the recipes that work for you. And if what you're looking for is what I like to call optimal health, not just, you know, having enough energy to get by, but actually having energy to explore and follow your interests and do more than just sit on the couch and drink wine when you get home from work, you're gonna have to learn how to cook. Because the food that you get out in the world, even if you're going to what you consider a healthy grocery store, it's gonna have crappy oils in it. They might not use the best ingredients, and certainly if they do, it's gonna come out of your pocket. So learning to cook, to me, is the most important thing you can do to improve your health and to get that optimal level of energy. And what we're doing is fighting the marketing battle of commercials that tell you that cooking is hard and you don't have enough time, and, you know, throwing something in the microwave or opening up this box of food is just going to be easier. And yeah, it's easier, but if it ultimately ends up zapping your energy, is it worth the convenience? When cooking is just so much easier than they want you to know. I mean, to me, a meal is a piece of fish and some steamed vegetables. That's dinner, and that takes 10 minutes. And the key is to have the groceries in your house. So, I mean, I used to never cook. I could make spaghetti, and that was it. And I was lucky enough to live with someone who was a cook, and she would give me the stuff to chop, and her mom was an awesome cook, and you know, she taught me how to make gravy at Thanksgiving, and that's what you need. You need to do. You can't watch the Food Network all day and think that you're gonna learn how to cook. You actually have to get behind the stove, get a knife, get a cutting board, find a recipe you like, and do it. And you know what? It's fun, and it's really good. And the more that I've learned how to cook, the more I realize that food out there in the restaurants doesn't taste that good. So that was the timer for the poached eggs. So now I got my slotted spoon, and I don't know if I'm just being overly pedantic about this, but I always take out the one I put in first and I have some gluten-free toast here, so yeah. All right, so there it is. There's my little poached eggs on toast. See if I can not dump it off the plate. That would be good. And that's gonna be my breakfast. And excuse me. So back to my little rant. And so yes, cooking is the first step into optimal health. But there are so many other things that you can do that are easier than you think on a daily basis. I think a lot of people think when they wanna make, I'm gonna be healthy this year, that they have to go to the gym every day for an hour and, you know, eat raw, vegan, macrobiotic, and, you know, go sit in a cave and learn how to meditate. And all that stuff is fine and good if it fits into your schedule, but I know for me, going to the gym for an hour is just not an option in my reality. A, the gym smells and they have news on all the time. And B, I only have a couple hours every night when I get home from work from the time I have to go to bed, and I don't want to spend it at the gym. So my whole philosophy is around changing your daily habits to improve your health. And it's about taking one thing, getting used to it, picking up another habit, getting used to it, and eventually you're going to have a whole new lifestyle. So towards that end, I've created a 7-day Reclaim Your Energy challenge. And what this is, it's taking a habit that you can implement every day and doing it for a week and seeing how just those simple changes can change your energy level. Now, are you going to have a beach body at the end of 7 days? Well, probably not, unless you're almost there already, because it took, maybe 30 or 40 years for you to get the body that you have right now. So it's going to take some time to, get your inflammation down and your energy up. But what I think is really important is to note the changes of how you feel as you incorporate these healthy habits. So you start out the week and you kind of assess where you are in your energy levels and your mood, and then you incorporate the healthy habits, and then at the end of the week you do that assessment, because when you're making these changes, the changes are subtle. So if you don't assess where you are at the beginning, when you get a week or 2 weeks, or even a lot of there's 21-day challenges, at the end of 3 weeks, you might not notice the improvements. If you're sleeping better, you might not really notice. If your, mind is calmer or you're feeling less anxiety, you might not notice, because I know for me, as I went through this process, I really didn't notice the improvements I made, the anxiety level going down. For me, the biggest thing that I noticed was not falling asleep every day. And so, but the other things were so subtle, like how my tummy felt, how focused I was during the day. These were much subtler changes that now over the years I pay attention to, because those to me are indicators of how good I'm doing. So this week, stomach, not good. Last weekend, I drank and ate things I shouldn't. So, it took me a while to recover, and I'm feeling better now. And it's also a good reminder that these habits make a difference. So I'm going to share the link to the challenge and the date in the comments below. And this is a self-guided challenge. You can pick the habits that are going to work for you, find the way to incorporate them into your day, and monitor your progress. And I just want people to see that it's easier than we're told to feel healthy. I mean, your body wants to be in balance, and if you give it the right stuff, it's going to move you there. And I just want people to have that experience and quit listening to the lies that this is so hard. So that's what I have to say about that. I'm going to go eat my poached eggs before they get cold. Any questions, comments, put them below the video and I'll get back to you, and I'll also share the link. And starting February 1, I'm going to do a 28-day plank challenge in the group. I'll post the little calendar in the document section, so you don't need to sign up for anything to do that. I just want to show people that, being strong feels good. So again, questions and comments below. I'm happy to answer anything. It doesn't have to be about poached eggs. Feel free to ask away, and I will see you next time. Bye.